chin's gone.
But he's still Anthony Joshua.
Which is stiff and no rhythm, no skill, just power.
You're serious about fighting him?
Yeah.
My good old friends Netflix, baby. You guys wanted me to go bigger? How about twice as big? Literally, he's twice as big as Gervonta.
Jake Paul has been unashamed in making serious predictions in the run-up to what is regarded as one of the biggest fights of recent times. He refers to the former world champion as an old man and claims that his chin is no longer what it used to be.
Now let's take a look at this list. Canelo, injured. Francis Ngannou, scared. Floyd Mayweather, my brother beat him. Mike Tyson, done that. Lennox Lewis, too young. Ryan Garcia, easy work. Tommy Fury, wanted more time. Deji, Deji. Nate Diaz, been there, done that. Conor McGregor, owned. Logan Paul, maybe. Sidney Sweeney, that's not a bad idea. But as I looked closer at the list, I saw one name that stood out. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua. That's gotta be it, Bernard! Fire up the jet! I'm going back to training camp! I'm fighting Anthony Joshua!
Although some people consider it a spectacle, the fight has been severely criticized by many fighters and analysts who have also cast doubt on the competitiveness of the fight by putting a domestic-level fighter like Paul against a two-time heavyweight world champion. Adam Catterall sounded a rather straightforward warning regarding the notion of Jake Paul intervening with Anthony Joshua. He thought that the fight was potentially part of deadly risk due to the gap between the sizes, powers, and technical skills being too broad. To him, Paul would be getting into a scenario that he was not ready to encounter, where a single transaction could jeopardize him.
If he steps in with Anthony Joshua, and it's a proper fight and there's no restrictions or anything like that, he's going to get hurt. It is dangerous. It is bad for the sport. It should absolutely not happen. I know that the people will be saying, well, business, money, all these types of things. Come on, man. There's a cut-off point at some point, isn't there? If he steps in with Joshua, Joshua will hurt him badly and it will reflect badly on the sport.
Catterall has responded to the increased concern of numerous boxing voices who believe that this fight had crossed the boundary of entertainment and endangered the unstable. What he was trying to say was that the confrontation should not have ever taken place, as Joshua could severely injure Paul.
Listen, I know that people are down on Anthony Joshua, but we're talking about an Olympic gold medalist and two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. Come on. It's disrespectful to the sport. It's like you're saying that lads, you play footy, right? It's like me, who plays for the Dog and Duck, saying that I can get on a pitch with you lads and run rings around you. Not a cat in hell's chance. It's never happening, is it? So come on, let's not be daft about it. If you want an exhibition later on when Joshua's finished, all right, well, maybe have a little bit of a fun then and a little bit of a move around. But as a professional contest, do me a favor, stay away.
The issues that led to the criticism are the tremendous difference in experience, physical difference, and the real danger of matching a comparatively novice boxer and one of the best products of the sport. Benavidez Sr. clarified that this fight posed a grave threat to Jake Paul since the size, power, and championship caliber of Anthony Joshua displayed a massive difference in skill. He noted that Joshua would still be forced to be on his toes because there can never be a guarantee in any fight, and long rounds or a decision may be put to the test for him.
You know, don't count him out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know. But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Meanwhile, he also admitted that there is always some unpredictable situation in boxing, so even such an underdog as Jake Paul might strike Joshua under case circumstances. His opinion was a sign of respecting the superiority of Joshua as well as the unpredictability of boxing.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and you know, he's a pretty good fighter. I don't think he would take him out in 2-3 rounds. I think maybe in the later rounds, or it might go to decision, you know, but I don't think that Jake Paul can take AJ out. I mean, or AJ could take Jake Paul. Maybe, you know, but I don't know. It's just going to be an exciting fight. I think I want to see that fight, to be honest with you.
Nevertheless, in spite of the cynicism, one feels a sense of expectation and interest in the event. Fans are keen to know whether Paul is as confident and unconventional in the ring, can be able to match Joshua with his power, technique, and calmness. Strong caution was given by Benavidez Jr., who heard that Jake Paul had made a formal agreement to fight Anthony Joshua. He emphasized that the degree of risk in this fight was very high, as the size, experience and power of Joshua put him in a whole new sphere never experienced by Paul.
I give 100% respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight for him. He probably gets knocked out, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not saying nothing bad, but Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him. Yeah. But big respects to Jake Paul. It's gonna be a good card. You know what I mean? It's a big fight, and so a good fight, man. I give 100% respect to Jake Paul for even taking that fight.
Analysts have indicated that Joshua has a gold medal in the Olympics, 2 world heavyweight championships, and a strong skill base that makes him a radically divergent contender to Paul. Eddie Hearn publicly acknowledged that this was just a case of entertainment and a huge paycheck behind this match. He made it clear that he was not attempting to dress up the fight to be something more profound or meaningful on his part. Joshua would be more than satisfied to flatten Jake Paul and monetize the process, and he saw no need to feign otherwise.
He's going to get a load of money to knock Jake Paul spark out. That's it, mate. I want to see him get chinned. I do. And if we're going to get paid a fortune for the pleasure, sign me up. That's it. That's it. You know, I mean, I'm kind of past the days of trying to spin it to you, and you're better off saying to the why are you doing this? For the money. And for the giggle.
Eddie Hearn was also honest, as he usually is, and discussed the sudden popularity of influencer boxing. He said that he admired the entertainment aspect and was able to comprehend why celebrities such as KSI, Logan Paul, and Tommy Fury attract such massive crowds. He was, however, becoming concerned. He was concerned that young fans would begin to mix these celebrity-driven activities with real and professional boxing after living his whole life in the sport.
I'm just not into the YouTube stuff. You know, I think it doesn't all work. Obviously, when you get someone with a massive profile and a massive following like KSI or Logan Paul or Tommy Fury or these kind of people, yes, there's a market for it. But I just think we got to be a little bit careful that that next generation don't view that as boxing. I think YouTube, I don't even want to call it boxing, but misfit stuff, I think there's a place for it. I think it can be entertaining, but it's not boxing.
Eddie Hearn responded to the increasing discussion of Jake Paul intervening with Anthony Joshua, and he was not shy to do so. Although innumerable fans immediately comment that a matchup between them was a mismatch, he took a more complex picture on this issue, and even to the extent that he might have been a promoter of the event.
Yeah, I'm saying, you said it's a mismatch. I said, I see it as exactly the same. And I may even be the promoter. It's so bizarre. Like, it's like, you know, and I said to these guys, Jake Paul and Nikisa, who's his manager, I said, guys, you know this is very dangerous, don't you? I mean, like, you know, and a lot of people are looking at this fight going, yes, AJ is going to evaporate Jake Paul from the boxing world. And there's a very good chance that will happen. But they like these big, kind of dangerous moments.
Not only that Jake Paul make this challenge official, but he has also been seen mocking the heavyweight champion at his YouTube channel right after the fight had been finalized. These actions have only contributed to the blaze of the bout because the fight has now been one of the most talked about bouts in the history of boxing.
No, tiny thing. Damn, a big boy.
Tommy Fury tore Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul apart and gave one of his most scathing rants to date. He ruled out the fight as a total joke and said that, in case Jake had somehow thought that he could beat Joshua, then AJ would kill him without even breaking a sweat.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this?
Fury increased further by arguing that despite a broken arm, he would expect Joshua to get the fight over within a minute because, according to him, Jake does not belong anywhere close to that level. On the one hand, calling the entire thing a laugh and not serious boxing, Fury did not hold back, leaving him calling Jake a prick due to his efforts to push the narrative.
He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. You can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
Jake Paul raised his voice again, throwing a verbal shot at Anthony Joshua that he will embarrass the one-time heavyweight champion and reveal what he alleged is a weak chin. Paul clarified that he is not coming to get a payday. He is coming to get a shock upset that he thinks will turn the world of boxing upside down.
And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony, and I don't have, you know, like, I'm global, so it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing. And people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him.
Not everybody thinks you'll die. Tyson Fury says you'll knock Joshua out. What's your response to that?
Smart guy. He sees what I see, I think, which is a weak chin in Joshua and a guy who's very, very beatable.
The YouTuber turned fighter insisted that Joshua has been wounded before and can be wounded again, considering that the opponent is ready to accelerate the pace and take risky options. Paul claims that he is willing to do just that, and he even tells the world that it will be felt.
Now, it's the 50th anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle in Congo. Could you imagine you fighting Anthony Joshua there at the site of Ali Foreman?
That's a genius idea.
It's possible.
It's possible. That's what we should make happen.
And lastly, if this is happening, what's your final word to Joshua as you leave Wembley, where you may face him next?
Man, I'm going to embarrass you in front of the whole world and steal your whole legacy and embarrass you.
The fight has sparked debate over what modern boxing represents, blending sport, spectacle, and social media influence. Despite criticism, anticipation continues to grow, making it clear that the world will be watching every punch, every exchange, and every headline this matchup generates.
You and Anthony Joshua, is it happening or not?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I want it to happen here. All the odds stacked against me. I believe that I will beat him and shock the world and create one of the biggest upsets in boxing history.
Jake Paul, ever the provocateur, has openly taunted Joshua, promising to embarrass his so-called weak chin and daring Tyson Fury with a $1 million side bet, further fueling the hype. Meanwhile, Tommy Fury dismissed the fight entirely, calling it laughable and questioning the seriousness of the matchup, even suggesting the risk of extreme outcomes in jest.
Tyson Fury was saying he put $1 million on you beating Anthony Joshua.
I seen that. He's backing me. He's a smart lad.
Dana White had his own rough and uncensored opinion on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. He said it was a bad idea competitively. He admitted that although he is a cynical person, the spectacle will attract enormous numbers of people, and both fans and casual listeners will be anticipating each moment. White said he would be watching too, which emphasized the curiosity and hype that could not be ignored in the match.
Yeah, and did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Did you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Jake Paul, Joshua.
Oh, Jesus. That's a f***ing bad idea.
His response embodied the ridiculousness and the fascination of the fight. He understands that as a sporting match, it might not really make a lot of sense, but it has already caught the interest of the whole world and has become an event that people simply cannot afford to miss.
That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what, a lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. Then I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Frank Warren gave his opinion about the fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua in a calm and experienced voice, emphasizing the fact that the integrity is enormous in terms of size. He was also keen on the contrasting nature of the background of the two fighters, the vast difference in experience, skill, and physical size. This, according to Warren, lends a certain sense of danger in the matchup and makes it seem like two very different worlds are colliding within the ring.
Well, my thoughts on it, I think it's a fight that will generate a lot of viewing figures. The guys will get extraordinarily well paid for it. You've got AJ, who's obviously well known over here. In America, he's not got such a big profile, but Jake Paul certainly has and lots of followers. It's a fight that I'm sure that AJ will go in as a massive favourite. Former two-time world champion, naturally a natural big heavyweight, gold medalist at Olympic Games against a guy who never had any amateur fights. What's he had, about 10 or 12 pro fights? Been accused of not fighting decent opponents.
The experience of decades of boxing enabled him to put the fight into perspective so that the fans can have a clear picture of how serious and unpredictable it is. In addition to the analysis, Warren praised Jake Paul on the fact that he entered into such a high-stakes game, and which requires a lot of courage to confront an experienced world champion.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to Jake Paul. He's stepping right up. He's going in with a live fighter, and you know, it's going to be a tough night for him. I think he'll be a big underdog for obvious reasons, but he believes he can win it.
Willie Hutchinson commented on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight, acknowledging the massive financial stakes involved. While he gave credit to Paul for taking on such a high-profile opportunity, he also highlighted how unusual and extreme the matchup is, describing it as ridiculous. Hutchinson's statement reflects a mix of respect for the ambition and recognition of the absurdity of pairing a social media star with a world-class heavyweight champion. He said, "A lot of money though, fair play to him, but it's ridiculous." Willie Hutchinson made a loud warning on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua match, stating just how out of his league Paul is. He said that it would be shocking for our Joshua not to win the fight soon, and emphasized that Paul stands no likelihood of success against an Olympic gold medalist and two-time heavyweight champion. Hutchinson presented the contest as utterly one-sided over a contest whereby, at his worst, Joshua would be superior to Paul.
He doesn't get rid of him in 2 rounds. He wants to hang up the gloves and never look at boxing ever again.
Do you not think that's the perfect fight for his tune-up to then fight Tyson Fury? Or?
Oh man, how can you say Jake Paul, a YouTuber, couldn't fight, sleep, fight the Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion of the world? He hasn't got a chance ever in his life. If Joshua was on his deathbed, he would still beat Jake Paul. Pull yourselves together.
Derek Chisora responded with a combination of disinterest and anger to the prospect of Jake Paul entering a ring against an experienced heavyweight fighter such as Anthony Joshua. He referred to the contest as being totally ridiculous and noted that it was pushing the boundaries of fairness and that Paul was engaging in a contest that would have exposed him to serious physical danger.
I'm buzzing, and we can lay that fucking Jake Paul nonsense to rest. So if the fight happens, somebody better go to jail. Why? Because then you're gonna kill him. I mean, like, it's unfair. Someone has to go to jail.
Chisora next added that Paul would probably research the recent fights of Joshua, trying to find where his weaknesses or gaps lay to exploit them. In spite of this, he ensured that the main difficulty would be Joshua dealing with whatever could be brought into the ring by Paul. As Chisora acknowledged that the fight might be enjoyable to watch in front of the audience, he pointed to the sheer disparity and the difference between the two in terms of experience, skills, and strength, and stated how one-sided the fight really is.
Right now, Jake Paul be watching the last fight AJ had, and he's gonna jump on him. It's all about AJ dealing with the men in front of him, but whatever happens will be exciting.
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
Nah, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going in an ambulance, bro.
The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua boxing match has attracted the interest of the boxing industry like no other event previously. Legends, promoter, and experts alike have given their views on the matter of the gross disparity in experience and physical prowess. Jake Paul, a social media influencer and a professional boxer, is fighting one of the most successful heavyweights in the sport, an Olympic gold medalist and two-time world champion. Nevertheless, despite the criticism, the hype of the fight is still increasing because of the boastful remarks, insults, and the confrontation of two worlds that could not be more different. The fans are looking forward to knowing whether the confidence of Paul will withstand the experience and power of Joshua, or whether the fight will be a reality check. What is your opinion? Will Jake Paul be able to drag the impossible off, or will Anthony Joshua conquer as he should? Guess your choices in the comment section, like the button in case you are ready to witness this great battle, and subscribe to all the news, reviews, and Fight Night recaps.